I know when I was on my thyroid journey, one of the meals I struggled the most with was breakfast. I always had a hard time figuring out what to have. I felt like I was having the same thing over and over. I was kind of getting burned out on breakfast foods as well. So I wanted to share with you some of the breakfasts that I have, and I kind of rotate them out all the time. And they're thinking outside the box. So it's not your typical breakfast foods, just to give you some ideas and other things to eat other than just your typical breakfast foods. Because like I said, I know you can get kind of burned out on that. So I'm going to share with you a few of those. But if you could do me a very big favor first, if you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel and then hit that bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video. So what I always want to preface with whenever we're thinking about any meal, so that will go for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, is we always want to make sure that we're getting a balanced meal. So we want to make sure we're having protein, carbohydrate, and fat. So protein can look like meat, it can look like fish, even eggs, for example, but we're going to talk about some other things to have for breakfast outside of your typical breakfast foods. Carbohydrates could be starches, could be fruits. I'm going to reference probably carbohydrates more along the lines of starches today, because here where I live, fruits are not in season the best right now. When summertime comes, they get a lot better here. So I will probably be having more fruits in the summertime. In the wintertime, I'm usually going for more starches. And then I'll talk about some healthy fats. So first and foremost, when we're planning a meal, always, like I said, make sure we're doing carbohydrate, protein, and fat. So for example, a meal that I just had this morning was I made some, already had some leftover protein sources. So I had leftover ground turkey, and I will take the ground turkey and put it in a pan, usually saute it with some coconut aminos, and then I had some leftover sweet potatoes that were just cubed and cut up. And again, I do a lot of batch cooking. So I had some of those left over, sauteed in a pan with some coconut aminos, put a little seasoning on it, and then I will slice up half of an avocado. That is it. Super, super simple, very, very easy to do. And I will have that quite often as breakfast. Another idea is to take some leftover like chicken thigh. I love chicken thigh. So I had some leftover chicken thigh, this was a few days ago, made some leftover chicken thigh. I had some fingerling potatoes, some of those like little mini potatoes, diced those up a little bit. Again, put them in a pan together, sauteed with some aminos, a little bit of avocado oil, and then some seasonings. And then one of my favorite healthy fats that I've been having more recently because I cannot have dairy, it's called Mayokos, and it's a cashew-based butter. So it's plant-based, but not a bunch of junk in it. Super, super healthy, but it melts just like regular butter, and it tastes super delicious. You can actually eat it by itself. It's really, really good. So I put that on there too. So here I'm getting my protein, I'm getting my carbohydrates, and I'm getting a healthy fat. Super easy. Again, like I said, I keep things pretty simple when it comes to breakfast. Try not to make it too complicated. And then another idea that I really like to have as well quite often is I will have some ground beef. Again, I'm usually pre-cooking that already, so I'll throw some leftover ground beef and some butternut squash. Butternut squash is one of my favorites. So again, I had roasted that already. That was had been roasted in a pan. So I'll throw that in a pan with some coconut aminos. A lot of times I'll even sprinkle a little dash of cinnamon on it with having the starches. It's really good when you're combining all those together. And then a little bit of oil. Usually I'm using avocado or coconut oil. I think they cook better. And then it's all cooked, put it in a bowl. And I will maybe even use some avocado oil mayonnaise. I know this sounds weird, but it tastes so good when we're combining it with protein and starch. It's really good on anything. So Chosen Foods and Primal Kitchen have my two favorite avocado oil mayonnaise. There's not a bunch of junk in it, super clean ingredients, and there's no dairy in it. So I can handle it much better that way. So that'll be a fat source for me as well. So you can see I keep it very, very simple. Another idea is to make a protein shake as well. Be very mindful with the protein powders you're getting, because there's some really junky ones out there that have too many ingredients in them that are not good, and a lot of sugar and stuff like that. Truvani has a really good plant-based one. Just Ingredients also has a plant-based one. They also have one that is whey-based. I can do whey. Sometimes their product is actually really good. Equip also has a really, really good bone broth, like meat-based one that's from beef. That's actually really excellent as well. So I'll put that with some fruit usually. maybe some avocado. It makes it really creamy and it's some healthy fat in there, or some nut butter even. I like cashew nut butter. I do better with that than, I don't do as well with almond butter, but that could work as well. But that's such an easy way to get a good breakfast in as well. If you need something quicker, kind of on the go, and like I said, fruit's not the best here right now, but in the summertime, I'll start having more shakes like that for breakfast as well. So again, make sure you're getting carb, protein, fat. As far as serving size goes, usually for me, I'm usually having about 5 ounces or so-ish of meat, and then a cup of starch, and then the healthy fat, depending on what it is. I'll have half of an avocado. If I'm having like the Mayoko's butter or the avocado mayonnaise on it, I'll do like a serving size, which is usually like a tablespoon. And then if I'm putting oil on it to cook in it, just a drizzle, just to get the pan coated a little bit. So I usually will do that. But again, very, very simple, very, very basic. It's super, super easy to do. I like to just kind of rotate things out, but like I said, it's usually I'm going to throw some protein in. I'm usually going to throw some type of starch in, and then I'm going to have a healthy fat with it, whether I cook with it or I do it after I have it cooked. And then, like I said, put some seasonings on there. Redmond salt, seasoned salt is delicious. They have different flavors that are really, really good. I'll use those a lot. Some cinnamon as well. Super, super easy. So, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Reach out if there's any questions about any of the products that I mentioned as well. And then I would love to know, what is one of your favorite breakfast foods as well? Comment below and tell me what one of your favorites is. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.